Hi guys, Goose here. We are demoing. I don't do many demos on this channel, or not at the moment anyway. And this is a guitar that belongs to a good friend of mine, and I just wanted to do a demo of this guitar because I really love this guitar. I played quite a few Masterbuilt guitars, as this is, and it's really not until this particular guitar that I've really thought, wow, this guitar is amazing. So. And basically, I love thin line Telecasters. It's kind of like a real sort of thing I love because they're lightweight and they're a little bit different. Not many people play them. And this particular model, which is based on a 1972 Fender Telecaster, is particularly interesting because of the pickups. Okay, so let me just have a swig of coffee. Thank you very much. It's morning here in the West Country in England. So I'm delighted to be in. So let's just go talk about the main thing here, the pickups. So these are Fender wide range pickups. And Fender basically made these pickups to try and get into the humbucker sort of market that Gibson dominated at the time in the 70s, in the early 70s. And they actually, they asked Seth Lover to design these. And that's a testament to the great Seth Lover because he designed so many cool pickups. The guy was a genius, you know. So anyway, he designed these, and these were basically designed with a special rod magnets, which were made from copper, nickel, and iron, a sort of alloy, and or short, you could say, conifer, so conifer magnets. And Fender, at the time, they had this access to this alloy, this magnet, and then they lost. You know, they lost the access. They couldn't find it anymore. So then they started making the reissues with a different type of magnet, which didn't really capture this original sound of these great pickups. So now Fender apparently have got, you know, these are proper conifer rod magnets. So we're back to the original design of Seth Lover, and they sound really fantastic. And if you really want to hear this guitar in action, played by a real connoisseur of this guitar, I'd recommend checking out Tab Benoit. He's an amazing blues guitar player. I think he's from Louisiana by the sound of his surname. I might be wrong, forgive me if I am. But he is a really cool fella, and he plays great guitar. And one thing about him, which is what I'm trying to replicate today, is it's a guitar, a cable, and an amp. And that's literally it. So, you know, you can get a really cool blues sound. I'm going to whack this right up. I'm going to be on the back pickup now. And then I'm just going to be rolling off a little bit of the edge here. But just check out this tone, you know. So real sort of, it's not like a normal Telecaster, obviously, because these are humbucking pickups. And like I said, I just like to roll off a little bit of that tone there, and you can really get this to sing beautifully. And if you're playing a little bit faster, it also really, it doesn't sound thin and weird, it sounds really punchy. Very even across the fretboard. Let's try the neck pickup. And again, we're going to roll down this even more now, because what I really like is having that neck pickup with the tone real down. And normally neck pickups aren't great for soloing, but this neck pickup is wonderful for soloing. So your chords sound really cool as well with this. It's a great sounding guitar, guys. And let's go into the middle position. We're going to take this volume right down so we clean it up. So that's the guitar sounds. That's really, really nice. Interestingly, the 72 Telecaster, I think, was it called a deluxe or custom? I don't know, but you can tell me, guys, in the comments, had a hardtail bridge. So it's like from a Stratocaster. Can you see that? These are Stratocaster. Can't remember the name of the saddles. Oh my god. And this is a Strat hardtail bridge, which is really interesting. But it does have the typical Telecaster string through system. This is a beautiful roasted. So Dale Wilson has put a roasted neck on this. I like these roasted necks. They're a little bit more stiffer. They dried out. Obviously, they resonate a lot more. And Dale Wilson tends to leave lacquer on the neck, which I really like. You know, there's nothing wrong with leaving a bit of lacquer. I know that it was all the rage about 10 years ago just to take the wood down to the wood, you know. And some old instruments from the 60s and 50s are obviously down to the wood, but a lot aren't. You know, a lot of them still have a bit of lacquer. So I personally like a nice bit of thin lacquer, you know. And where this guitar scores big is really on two areas. Really, in comparison to the original 72 model. The first thing is it's not heavy, and a lot of those 72 models were heavy because Fender at the time had this heavy wood and they wanted to use it, so they decided to route out the bodies to make the guitars lighter, and that's where the thin line was born. But this particular model is super light; it almost floats in the air, you know. But the original 172, even with the heavy routing, they can still be about 8 pounds, 8.5 pounds, so they're still quite heavy guitars. Another point where this guitar wins over the 72, in my opinion, is its very thin lacquer. And as you know, at the time, the mindset in the 70s was to cover everything with very thick poly so that you could keep your guitar in beautiful condition. And of course, nowadays, the mindset is to keep your guitar in very relic condition, you know, because you want to fool people into people thinking that this guitar has actually been played on concerts, you know. Whereas in the 70s, it was the opposite. We wanted to keep our guitars mint. Well, I was born in the 70s, so I wasn't really playing guitar then, but you know what I mean. Another interesting thing, on this Dale Wilson, we've got Dale Wilson's signature here. We've got the 70s machine heads, and we've only got one string tree. So the 72 had 2. So I'm guessing this is a little bit better. Strings are more natural. They're not going to be pulling against each other and going out of tune. So that's probably an improvement. We've obviously got the bullet nut, which is actually very good. It means you don't have to pop the neck to adjust your truss rod. Okay, we've got the controversial 3-screw neck plate, and it's obviously got a little hole there for the Allen key, and that's where you tilt the neck to your desired preference. Now, me personally, I like 4 screws. I like to have 4 screws here, and I don't like to have a shim. I like to work it out so that you can have the marriage between the 2 bits of wood perfectly airtight. That's my own opinion. That's what I want on all my guitars, nothing less. But a lot of people put shims in. Well, you know, this is a matter of debate, I guess, whether it makes a difference. But I think if you put anything in the neck, or that screw's going to tilt it, then you're not going to get that airtight marriage between these 2 bits of wood, and maybe the sustain is going to suffer. But on this particular guitar, the sustain is not a problem, as you can hear. It's a great sounding guitar. So I think I've basically covered everything I wanted to say with this guitar. Like I said, the pickups are fantastic. Check out Tab Benoit if you haven't heard of him. Check him out. Great blues player, great honest, you know, blues player, just great. I mean, you know, I really like him. He's cool, you know, as a player, and a good singer. Great tone though, and I just loved his tone, and this is how he got it, you know. So great guitar. Check them out. I mean, you can get, like, obviously a reissue. I might be looking for one of these myself, but I don't want to pay, you know, what is it, 5-7 grand for Del Wilson. It's just way out of my price range. But I'm going to get maybe a cheaper Japanese copy that has this configuration, because I really love it. And maybe I'll have to buy some reissue pickups that are Conife, because I think the Conife sound is fantastic. You know, it's absolutely wonderful. So it's a real pleasure to play this guitar over the last couple of days, and I wish I could take it with me. I might just take it with me back home, and you know, and just leave a note for my good friend and just say sorry, but it had to go back with me. Anyway, guys, I'll see you soon. God bless. Take care. See you soon. Goose signing out.